Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. So I challenged myself to make this bag you see here with one skein of yarn. And yarn is actually more like rope. It's very sturdy. So I used one skein. Bag is 10 inches wide by 9.5 inches tall, and it's lined. So if you like this, stay tuned. I'll show you how to make this bag. So to begin, we're going to create 30 stitches plus one. So let's make a slip knot here to get started. And then we'll begin with a chain of 30 plus 1, so a total of 30 chain stitches. I have to warn you, if you are interested in using this rope, I'll call it rope, looks very thin, but it's super tough. It's a lot to try and work with. So if you see if it looks like I'm struggling, it's because it's very stiff. But it's perfect for a handbag. I find one thing that helps when I am creating the crochet fabric initially is to keep counting rows or counting stitches for each row every time I complete one. So you'll see me doing that in between each row that I create. Just want to make sure I have all the stitches that I started out with. Now the plus one is just to account for the height of the next row. So I'm always going to skip over the first stitch, just get started, and go into the second one. And in this row, I'm going to create a row of single crochet stitches. Okay, and then for the next row, we're going to do the same thing, another row of single crochet. So always create one chain and then go into the first stitch that you see. That way it will account for the height of the next row. And if you're ever unsure, just stop when you're finished and count the number of stitches you have. And if you have the same number that you started out with, then you did something right. Okay, so I skipped ahead to finish the last stitch in this row. So I'm going to just take a moment and count, make sure I have 30 stitches. Okay, it looks like I'm good to go. So now my next row is going to be a double crochet. So to start this, I will create 2 chains. And then I'll wrap the rope around the needle and complete my double crochet. So for double crochet, you wrap yarn or thread or rope around, go into the stitch, you wrap it around again, pick up 2 stitches, wrap it around again, and pick up another 2. I know I said that fast, but just keep watching and you'll see the pattern if you're not familiar with it. And if you want an idea of how it should look, there it is. Okay, so we have just completed the third row, and you can always pause this video if you want to work on it on your own, I tend to skip ahead a little bit so it's not so monotonous. And I like to just take a look and see how things look, make sure that they look uniform. I count my stitches, and I don't do this as I get further into the project. Initially, I just want to make sure that I'm on the right track, because if your foundation is off, it'll throw off the rest of your crochet fabric. Okay, everything looks pretty good, so let's go on and work on the fourth row, which is single crochet. So you just add one chain and then go into the first stitch. And if you're lost at all right now, just remember, with the single crochet, you just want to insert your needle into the stitch, wrap yarn around the needle, pull it through, wrap yarn around the needle, and repeat until you're back to a single stitch on your needle. So this is the pattern. The first row is single crochet, the second row single crochet, the third row is double crochet, and the last row in the pattern is single crochet. So you will repeat that pattern and create 40 rows in total. Once you get to the last 2 rows, though, of your 40 rows, you're going to create single crochet rows, excuse me. Now I just wanted to show you what the basic pattern is, what the foundation will look like, what it should look like. You can recreate this in any size that you want. If you want to do a bigger bag, 50 stitches, just always start with an extra one to account for the height of your single crochet. And you can create the same pattern no matter how many stitches you have going across. This robe also has a beautiful sheen, and it is, I think, the perfect stiffness for a handbag. I lined mine just to make it look more complete, but you can leave it unlined if you want just a simple shopping bag to carry simple items from the grocery store. Okay, so once again, I'm just making sure that I have 30 stitches, the amount I started out with. And once I'm sure I have a good solid pattern, then I can proceed on with the rest of the handbag fabric. Okay, this is my finished product so far. It's folded in half so that it is in the shape of the handbag that I want. This is half of the 40 rows. So now I'm going to line it. What I did was I found some placemats at the dollar store, which were perfect because they're double-sided and they actually have some interfacing on the inside, so that makes them very sturdy to work with. So I lined up my handbag body with this placemat, which I'm using as the lining, and I just allow a 1/4 inch on each side for the seam, and I cut it. And then I also needed to make loops for the straps because they have hooks, so I needed to make some hooks, so I cut a few pieces of fabric to sew onto the handbag. I'm not a seamstress, so I really can't help you with this part, but if you are good with sewing, this is going to be easy for you. I just wanted to give you an idea. I crocheted over the loops and added the straps, and this is my finished product. Hope you enjoy this. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.